Saldaña shares an update on the future of Lioness, revealing that she's contracted for at least 3 seasons. That right there gives fans something solid to hold on to, because if Zoe Saldaña is locked in, the chances of a season 3 coming our way look really strong. And considering how popular the show has been so far, there's every reason to believe it'll be back. Even though we're still waiting for the streaming service to make it official, it's safe to assume season 3 is going to happen. Season 2 was a huge hit. The premiere pulled in over 12.4 million viewers, which shows just how hooked people are on this gritty CIA thriller. So the delay in renewal isn't a sign of trouble, it's more about timing and logistics than anything else. There are actually a bunch of reasons why the official renewal might be taking a little longer than expected. First off, the cast is loaded with A-listers. Zoe Saldaña, Nicole Kidman, and Morgan Freeman are all incredibly busy, and getting their schedules to align isn't exactly easy. On top of that, Taylor Sheridan, the man behind the entire operation, is known for being one of the busiest people in the industry. He writes, produces, directs, and even acts in several projects across his ever-growing Sheridan-verse. So trying to coordinate this show around everyone's calendar has to be a serious challenge. But when you look at the big picture, it's actually kind of impressive that seasons 1 and 2 were released just 15 months apart. That's a fast turnaround for a show of this scale, especially one packed with action, complex characters, and heavy themes. So even though Lioness might not be Sheridan's top priority right now, it's still on the board, and chances are it's just a matter of time before the renewal becomes official. Or maybe, just maybe, it already has been renewed and they're just keeping it under wraps for now. It wouldn't be the first time Sheridan and Paramount Plus played things close to the chest. For example, Tulsa King didn't get an official Season 3 announcement until filming had already begun. So, the lack of news about Lioness might not mean anything we could all wake up to a surprise announcement when production's already underway. While we wait for that update, there's plenty we can still talk about. For starters, let's look back at what Lioness is all about and why it's kept viewers coming back for more. The show follows Joe McNamara, played by Zoe Saldaña, a tough-as-nails CIA officer who oversees the agency's Lioness program. Her job? Recruit and manage female operatives who go deep undercover in some of the most dangerous parts of the world. In Season 1, she brought in Cruz Manuelos, played by Leisla de Oliveira, a former Marine who went undercover with a Middle Eastern terrorist group. Then in Season 2, Joe recruited Josefina Carrillo, Genesis Rodriguez, an Army helicopter pilot with family ties to a powerful Mexican drug cartel. Each mission is high risk, emotionally draining, and morally complex, and Joe's also trying to juggle her home life with her husband Neil and their teenage daughter Kate, which only adds to the tension. The show doesn't pull any punches when it comes to portraying the darker side of espionage. It's filled with intense action scenes and equally intense emotional drama, all while painting one of the most cynical but maybe realistic pictures of the CIA that television has ever attempted. That tone has helped set Lioness apart from other spy dramas. So what do we actually know or feel pretty confident about when it comes to Season 3? Well, while there's no official premiere date yet because the show hasn't even been formally renewed, the production history gives us some clues. Season 2 was filmed between May and August 2024 and dropped in October. That's a quick turnaround, especially considering that this happened right after the 2023 writers and actors strikes. Sheridan's projects tend to move fast once filming starts, so if Lioness enters production sometime this summer, there's a good chance it could premiere by fall. Casting for Season 3 hasn't been announced yet, but fans can probably expect most of the core cast to return. Zoe Saldaña will almost certainly be back as Joe. Her character's hard edge, strong leadership, and emotional depth have been the foundation of the show. Cruz is also likely to return, especially since she reconnected with Joe and formed a bond with Josefina in Season 2. Genesis Rodriguez's character Josefina ended up being a fan favorite too. Her journey from military pilot to undercover operative and the budding romance with Cruz added layers to the show that weren't there before. That relationship in particular feels like something the writers will want to explore more in the future. We'll probably also see more of Neil and Kate, Joe's family, who added a grounded and emotional counterpoint to all the high-stakes spy action. Then there's the strike team: Bobby, Tucker, Two Cups, Randy, and Tex, all of whom helped deliver the show's adrenaline-fueled moments. And let's not forget Nicole Kidman as Caitlin Meade, Morgan Freeman as Secretary of State Edwin Mullins, and Michael Kelly as Byron Westfield, all of whom bring that high-level CIA intensity that's essential to the story's scope. Now, as far as plot goes, Lioness tends to start fresh each season, focusing on a new mission while still carrying forward the emotional and character-driven consequences of what came before. So even though Season 3 probably won't be a direct continuation of Season 2, the things that happened, especially the messy ethical decisions, will likely influence what's next. Season 2 wrapped up with two major missions. First, Caitlin and Byron made a deal with a cartel lieutenant, helping him take over in exchange for steering clear of America's enemies. That was a shady move, but one that fit perfectly into the show's theme of power politics over morality. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, Joe's team tried to intercept Chinese nuclear scientists headed to an Iranian base again, not to make the world safer, but mostly to send a message to China and Iran after their cartel-assisted meddling near the US border. Things went sideways fast in that mission, turning into a violent shootout with local forces. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, Delta Force operator Cody Spears, played by Sheridan himself, showed up and turned the tide. But instead of wrapping things up neatly, the season ended by emphasizing how these missions, while successful on paper, do little to actually bring peace. Instead, they just help maintain the current power structure. That's the sort of moral complexity Lioness thrives on, and something that will no doubt continue into Season 3. With Cruz and Josefina's romance hanging in the balance, Joe's career constantly at risk, and the world seemingly getting more dangerous by the day, there's more than enough material for the next chapter. And who knows, since Sheridan's universe of shows is always expanding, maybe we'll see some crossover appearances or tie-ins with characters from his other projects. That would add a fun new dimension to an already deep and compelling series. In the end, while we don't have a concrete date or even a formal announcement just yet, everything points to Lioness returning for Season 3. With Saldaña on board, a loyal fan base, and storylines that leave plenty of room for exploration, the show still has a lot to offer. So, while we wait, fans can take comfort in knowing that this story probably isn't over. It's just taking a little breather before the next mission begins. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.